about them.
In Avatar: The Last Airbender, it is done so well. But here's the thing. It grows to be more in depth. The spirit world becomes a thing, and it grows even more in depth after that. More layers get added on more layers, right? Not everybody in the Earth Kingdom is good. Not everybody in the Water Tribes. They're not all underpowered, right? Because the Northern Water Tribe is so strong. And not everybody in the Fire Nation is evil. The layers continue to be added the longer the story goes on. In your campaign, do that. Most people have a hard time starting a campaign because they don't know where to start. They think they need 7 kingdoms, hundreds of houses, thousands of NPCs. No! Stop! You don't need that. What you need is one town, one place, 4 or 5 NPCs, and an inciting incident.
What a joke. I worked my ass off to get where I am. And you take these shortcuts and you think suddenly you're my peer? You do what I do because you're funny and you can make people laugh? I committed my life to this.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. Dead like if I can guarantee Henry would be okay, I'd hope you get an illness and then get hit by a car and die.
In this video, we're going to talk about secondary objectives, a way to make your combat encounters spicy, delicious, fantastic. Secondary objectives enhance combat in D&D to an exponential degree. Let's go ahead and dive into number 10. Rescue missions. Task your players with rescuing an NPC or retrieving an item during combat. It will help add layers of urgency and potentially even a moral dilemma. My favorite example of this is instead of sending the players to kill the goblin camp that may raid the village, right? That's a consequence. Sometimes that's good enough. The goblins abducted the blacksmith. And now they need to save the blacksmith and kill the goblins. It's a secondary objective that spices things up.
You people should be thanking Christ that I am who and what I am because you need me. You need me to save you. You do. I am the only one who possibly can. You're not the real heroes. I'm the real hero.
Holy, look at all this damage!
Where? Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do, and so do I. I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent.
Now is left to me to deal with him. You can't.
If you try to interfere, this becomes a much simpler matter. I will kill your wife. I will kill your son. I will kill your infant daughter.
But for now, we're going to look at a slightly different system that doesn't just affect the moment of death, but the moments before death. Something that makes combat more grounded, horror more horrifying, and sacrifices all the more heroic. Picture a movie fight scene between a hero and villain. They're clashing blades, dancing back and forth, parrying, dodging, blocking, keeping up with each other's advances, surprising each other with new techniques and strategies, until finally, one of them lands a devastating blow. It's not just a graze on the arm, it's not just a smack on the chest. It's 0 HP. When using the point of no return system, we want to draw attention to this moment of the fight, to make that hit extra cinematic and weighted and affect the decisions that your players are going to make when they are given that critical choice of staying down or getting up.
So with that, let's go ahead and dive into our first build, the level 5 Blighted Warden. In the shadowed underbrush of the ancient forest, where the line between decay and growth blurs, the Blighted Warden moves unseen. A spectral guardian at the crossroads of life and death, melding the Gloomstalker's mastery of darkness with the Circle of Spores' eerie command over fungal life. They are the embodiment of nature's unchecked, wild ferocity. With each arrow knocked from their twisted, spore-infested bow, they strike with the precision of night and the inevitable spread of decay. A silent protector of the natural order's darker, untamed side. So there we go. There's our thematic intro.
I have to finish the story.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard? Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
He's gay, but he has a special connection to classical music. There's many things that are interesting about him.
In Avatar: The Last Airbender, it is done so well. But here's the thing. It grows to be more in depth. The spirit world becomes a thing, and it grows even more in depth after that. More layers get added on more layers, right? Not everybody in the Earth Kingdom is good. Not everybody in the Water Tribes. They're not all underpowered, right? Because the Northern Water Tribe is so strong. And not everybody in the Fire Nation is evil. The layers continue to be added the longer the story goes on. In your campaign, do that. Most people have a hard time starting a campaign because they don't know where to start. They think they need 7 kingdoms, hundreds of houses, thousands of NPCs. No! Stop! You don't need that. What you need is one town, one place, 4 or 5 NPCs, and an inciting incident.
What a joke. I worked my ass off to get where I am. And you take these shortcuts and you think suddenly you're my peer? You do what I do because you're funny and you can make people laugh? I committed my life to this.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. Dead like if I can guarantee Henry would be okay, I'd hope you get an illness and then get hit by a car and die.
In this video, we're going to talk about secondary objectives, a way to make your combat encounters spicy, delicious, fantastic. Secondary objectives enhance combat in D&D to an exponential degree. Let's go ahead and dive into number 10. Rescue missions. Task your players with rescuing an NPC or retrieving an item during combat. It will help add layers of urgency and potentially even a moral dilemma. My favorite example of this is instead of sending the players to kill the goblin camp that may raid the village, right? That's a consequence. Sometimes that's good enough. The goblins abducted the blacksmith. And now they need to save the blacksmith and kill the goblins. It's a secondary objective that spices things up.
You people should be thanking Christ that I am who and what I am because you need me. You need me to save you. You do. I am the only one who possibly can. You're not the real heroes. I'm the real hero.
Holy, look at all this damage!
Where? Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do, and so do I. I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent.
Now is left to me to deal with him. You can't.
If you try to interfere, this becomes a much simpler matter. I will kill your wife. I will kill your son. I will kill your infant daughter.
But for now, we're going to look at a slightly different system that doesn't just affect the moment of death, but the moments before death.
Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to the Tales of Evrand. Very excited to be here. Let's go ahead and roll the intro and dive in.
I'd like to welcome you to the world of Evrand.
The Seekers of Insomnia.
I told you to leave me alone. I could do this.
I wanted us to live and I wanted him dead.
Oh, I am so happy to see you.
Every party needs a pooper.
Raise the blade!
John, are you having fun? And we're back. Take it away, John.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Tales of Evrand, Book 9, Chapter 10, or Session 96. We're almost there, guys. I said it, 100. We're done. No more.
Okay.
But before we dive into the game, as we do always, well, now for the past couple months, Joe, read summary. So, Joe, take us in.
You got it. Yeah. Book 9, Chapter 9, The Meeting of the Three Kingdoms. I guess it was 4 because Siri was there. I didn't know that when I named the session. We discover that we will be meeting in a place called the Summit, an ancient meeting ground to find a solution to the chaos that currently grips the world. We have a day to prepare, so we discuss our plan and get ready for the Summit. Gideon and Yrsa have a conversation about the surge of power she displayed. Gideon advises caution regarding her divine power and the Kraken, noting that he won't try to save it. His priority is ensuring everyone survives. Yrsa acknowledged this, states that she understands that sometimes you have to let go, and not everything can be saved. With that, we make our way to the summit. The Queen greets all the leaders from Valamine, Dagrum, and Ciri, and the meeting begins. The political discussion starts off rocky, to say the least, with the King of Dagrum seemingly willing to let the world fall just to spite Valamine. However, after some time and a few well-placed interjections from Yrsa and Basil, he cools off his self-destructive behavior and agrees to help fight back against Demogorgon on one condition. Valamine must restore and return the land they stole. The hand of the King of Valamine agrees, and with that, an alliance is forged. We prepare for war. Over the course of a few months, the party fights back against the hordes of the Demogorgon, leading soldiers into battle. The fighting goes well, thanks to the strategic mind behind the military efforts. But, as we know, this is just the beginning. With a foothold now claimed, the party plans to leave the armies to continue to fight on their own, while we head to Ciri to kill the Kraken. Or maybe go somewhere else. I thought this is what we were doing, but maybe it's not. Once Ciri joins the fight, we will be able to close in on Ventus Ferrum, the city of Rien's people, and the seat of the Demogorgon's power here on the material plane. That's it.
Thank you, Joe, for that. We return to the game, but not exactly where we left off. We shift to a place of great importance, where decisions need to be made. The party stands around a circular stone structure, the war table at the summit. Around the table, the rulers of each kingdom have gathered, their faces lined with weariness and eyes darkened from exhaustion. They stand with you, their gazes fixed on the maps and markers that outline the grim reality of the battlefield. Together, you plan your next attack, your next move in a war that has no clear end in sight. 2 months, 2 grueling, soul-crushing months since this war has begun against the Abyss. The world has changed in those days. Nights blend into days, and the endless tide of demonic forces show no signs of stopping. The armies of the Abyss are relentless and never-ending. A horde that does not tire, does not need food, and does not need sleep. In contrast, your forces have been pushed to their limits. Every victory tainted by the knowledge that your numbers continue to dwindle while the Abyss only grows stronger. In Artis, Yrsa, Enid, and Gak have fought tooth and nail to hold the line, their stronghold barely standing against the onslaught. In Hambefort, Rian, Basil, and Gideon have done the same, defending the town with sheer determination and willpower. But the cost has been high. Food is scarce, sleep even more so, and the soldiers under your command fight on with a mixture of desperation and hope. Their morale and fragile shield against the darkness that threatens to consume them all. And yet, despite the odds, you have managed to create a stalemate. A fragile balance on the battlefield that neither side has been able to break. But deep down, you know this cannot last. The forces of the Abyss are unyielding, and unless something changes, this war will end in a slow, agonizing death of all you hold dear. It is only your determination that keeps the flame of resistance burning. The soldiers fight not just for their survival, but because they believe in you, the Seekers of Insania. They believe that you can find a way to turn the tide, to end this nightmare once and for all. Now, after weeks of separation and countless battles fought on different fronts, the 2 groups of the Seekers finally meet again. The war table stands before you, old comrades reunited at last, and each of you bearing the marks of battle, new scars, both physical and emotional. The air is thick, and the weight of unspoken words and losses endured, of this grim determination that still fuels your heart. As you stand at the war table, Garen Tigerhawk starts to speak.
As you all know, the armies of the Abyss are held for now. Although they have advanced slowly northwest, we hold them in Artis as forces continue to arrive. We were also able to push them back in the southeast and retake Hambefort, setting up a defensive position. Yrsa, Enid, and Gak have been able to successfully close the rifts at Crest Basin and Songsa, which means our threat is forward-facing, at least in this current moment.
You see King Hulfric speak up.
My soldiers are held in the rift in Tholbadir steady, but our forces are dwindling as well. I hate to say it, but I think we'll need assistance as time goes on. We'll have to notice larger and larger threats are walking through. Lausanne has come with me to talk more details with you, Realm Warden, on how to close the rift.
And you can see that an individual with a long staff and this almost lantern up top, wearing dwarven Dagrim armor, is Lausanne, the Rift Warden of Mechanus, is with Hulfric. He looks towards Yrsa and nods. Emperor Nazim speaks up and says,
In Syria, the numbers of the Abyssal Ravagers have grown, but not a number we cannot handle. We have dispatched them very quickly. However, again, we cannot cross the ocean to assist in the siege of the capital until the Kraken has been dealt with. My mages have been able to find the location of this creature, so when you all are ready, as he looks to the Seekers, we can assist in getting you close, and also providing a ship, should you need one.
You see that Lucian steps forward and says,
Valaminian forces are low. Last count, there are about 3,467 active fighters. However, we have not lost any of our 25 Drake riders. They continue to slow the momentum of these creatures, but the Drakes are getting tired. They have been rerouting for the last 10 days, but they'll need to stop soon to gather their strength again. That will, of course, free up the paths between Artis and Riffin and Hambefort and Theristir. They will need a day and a half to regather. And then you see Garen speak up again. We can coordinate. We will reroute our archers and increase the amount to them to offset the Drake Riders in the meantime. Some creatures will get through, but it should be something we can handle. With all that, we need our next steps. We cannot win this war until we siege of the capital and kill the creature controlling them, but we cannot siege the capital until Daggerum can fully join, as well as Citra. I throw the floor over to you, Seekers. I trust you already have a plan, as Garen looks towards all of you.
Well, then I think that makes our choice obvious. It just depends which one we feel most confident in handling, or which one we'd like to go to first. Between killing the Kraken and freeing Ciri to join, or handling the rift in Tholbadir, so that way Daggerum can join in full force. I think there are positives to each.
Nazim speaks up and says, it will take some time for our forces to get across the ocean. 10 to 12 days at the most. If you can free us of the Kraken, we can start making our way over as soon as possible.
Well.
And John, you said that the other Rift Warden, like, they can't, they're fine. They can't close the rift without yours. Oh, duh, of course they can't. Well, never mind. Yeah, you're just not giving them your staff.
Hulfric does speak up and says, if it's the Kraken that you're going to go after, then we can probably hold them off for a couple days. 10 is asking a lot. There are larger and larger creatures starting to come through. But we should be able to hold them.
I don't think we need that much time, only a few days. Thanks to, all of my companions here, we can get around the world rather quickly, and we've been to Ciri recently, so that makes it even easier. Then, Rihanna will look to everybody and say, if all of you are alright with that, I think going to deal with the Kraken first, so Ciri can have plenty of time to get here, and then handling the rift in Tholbadir.
Along with that, we at least know what we're dealing with the Kraken. We faced it before. True. Going to Tholbadir's many unknowns. But both threats will be addressed.
Nazim speaks up and says, well, we do know the location of the Kraken, at least its whereabouts. I will warn you that it looks like there have been some spawn, juveniles, as well as abyssal creatures that follow the Kraken around, so it will not be just the Kraken you will have to deal with. But we've seen you in combat before. Seems like you could hold your own. We can provide the ship.
Question for all the Ciri people. Do we need to take care of the lake?
You see Nazim kind of think to himself for a second and say, as of now, I don't think it's a high priority. I think that rift should be closed eventually, but our forces are able to hold off those abyssal creatures. Plus, most of them are walking into the Sea of the Dying. And, well, I don't know if you've been there. It's not a very nice place.
Yeah, we've been there.
Well, then you know how harsh the conditions are. A lot of those abyssal creatures are not making it through, and those that do, the numbers dwindle quite a bit when they get to Al-Shaham. So I don't think it's a top priority. I can reach out to the Rift Warden if you would like me to.
Feel free to reach out, but I think we're good to do Kraken and Tholbadir, and we could worry about the lake in a bit.
With luck, with Ciri's forces attacking the capital, Demogorgon might reroute some of its resources to defend its most valuable asset, it might make both rifts less useful to him.
And maybe this could be of some help, but the rift in Lunaria is temporarily contained. If I could, I could reach out to my sister. She's also a rift warden, and maybe Lunaria has very skilled fighters. Perhaps they can lend some forces to Thalbadir just to help in buying some more time.
You see Garen speak up and says,
Do they have the capabilities to get there that quick? Thalbadir's across the entire continent.
There's a teleportation circle in Riffin, right, John?
there's also druids there that probably have access to transport
They
via
could-
plants.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's like our bread and butter, baby. Okay. Yes. If I reached out to Willow now, they could be here within the hour.
Hulfric speaks up and says,
Right. We'll have to use the trees in the Iron Crest. There's not a lot of trees in Dagram.
That's very sad. Maybe when this is over, we can fix that.
I can also send a message to my sister, who helps me lead the Order of the Lotus, to send what few individuals we have left to aid as well. All very skilled fighters. Currently, I believe they're in Aelden, so perhaps the teleportation circles could be used then.
Garen speaks up and says,
Right. The Order is in Hamberford, right?
Sadly, the building was. I'm sure it's not standing anymore, but almost all of our people were evacuated thanks to a good friend of ours.
Well, with all of you gone in Hamberford, we could use some skilled fighters. If they can be sent to Hamberford to at least continue the stalemate until forces arrive to the capital.
Of course, I'll send word to Sayori with that request.
Queen Erin speaks up and says, We also have the Traitari, the horse warriors from Hillgrove. They can be rerouted through the forest, through Mirror Lake, if we want. They're currently around Artis at the moment.
I think that would be helpful.
And everyone kind of looks at each other and says, you see Emperor Nazim say,
Whenever you are ready, send a message. We will have ships ready. At least we'll have somewhere for you to teleport to. Have you been to Janu recently?
Have we? Yes. Kind.
I think so.
Is the
port glass won't work?
Port glass won't work because it hasn't been within that amount of time. But we've been recently enough that we know a tree, right?
Yeah. Or plane shift.
Yeah, plane shift. We can just kind of do. Yeah.
Could we?
And
this is Kayla asking, but like, could we just for our friends who don't have the ability to do so, would they be willing to throw in some like water breathing potions just in case someone gets thrown off a ship?
Or something that could help just fighting in water in general.
Yeah, like we'd pay for it, obviously.
Yeah, Nazim says there's no reason for you to pay. We will have them ready and prepared on the ship in Janu. Once you arrive, they will be there.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you would need?
Quick question. Last we knew, the Kraken was on.
Gak like lifts up his right hand.
He's like on this side of Siri. If we're going to Janu, does that mean that it's moved over and it's now in between Siri and Afira?
Yes, it has made its home in between the two continents, making sure that any ship that we try to get across is immediately brought to the depths.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else we need.
Garen speaks up and says,
Very well. And I guess this meeting is adjourned. The Seekers of Insomnia will travel to Janu, board the ship, and hunt down the Kraken. Killing the Kraken will allow the Citran forces to cross the ocean. It will take them about 10 to 12 days to get to the capital of Valamine. In that meantime, the Seekers will then head to Ulbadir and close the rift to Mechanus, freeing up the Dagram forces, which should take them roughly around 8 to 10 days to get to Theristir. I think we have a plan. Is there any final thoughts before we adjourn this meeting? He looks around at the table.
No.
How many spare ships do you have at Janu?
Will you be needing more than one?
We don't need more than one, but I had an idea, so I was just trying to think about it.
Whatever you need, Seekers, we will provide. Do not worry. If you need 17 ships, they will be provided.
Is Gideon doing that?
No, he's not. I just thought it'd be funny to mess with John for a second. Like 17, you say?
You get a ship.
You might want to make your battle map a bit bigger.
What's your idea, Gak?
Do we know if the Kraken is smart or not that smart?
It's
it can speak.
I was going to say Yersa.
Yes.
Yeah, here's what I was gonna say. It is a very intelligent creature.
Well, never mind.
No, I still think you should say your idea just in case.
Oh, I was just saying if we had a ship go ahead of us, I could have my unseen servant steering the ship, and we could use it as a decoy to try and get the Kraken to attack that ship, and then we'd have like I don't know, at least a little bit of an advantage.
I mean, is there a possibility that that could still work? Just kind of a surprise attack at least?
I would say so. I mean, intelligent doesn't always mean intuitive. That's
true.
I can't imagine it would look at it and say, oh, there's no one steering that ship. It would just see a ship. I think it's at least worth a shot.
Then I will provide an extra ship. That is the plan. I will head back now to start rearranging things. Good luck, Seekers.
Thank you.
And he bows to everyone, bows to each one of the leaders, and steps back into his teleportation circle and vanishes. Hulfric speaks up and says, "All right, well, I'm going to head back. Lausanne needs to talk to you, Yersa, about the logistics of how shutting this rift works. I need to head back and check on our soldiers. Good luck." And he steps back. And Garen will say,
Queen, if you want, you may adjourn yourself. I will stay here just in case there are any extra questions. But until then, I will stay over here.
and you see Garen kind of walks over, and Erin Yenfina, the Queen of Isvaria, looks to everyone and says, "Good luck." Steps back into the teleportation circle. And walking towards you, Yersa, you see Lausanne Greyrock, the Rift Warden of Mechanus.
Hell yeah.
What a cool guy.
It's Mr. Fantastic.
You see that he has a limp and uses this as a cane. You can see that there's an arcane crystal that is kind of just slowly being turned by cogs inside of this lantern as he looks towards you and goes,
Realm Warden. So, how exactly do you know how to shut a rift?
Oh. Yursa would go into like an in-depth explanation on how her staff works. Cause I mean, magic.
You see that?
You
As
know?
you are explaining it, he's riding his glasses and looking at the staff every which way. Interesting.
I was gonna say real quick before Yursa did that, Gak wanted to do a quick looks over this guy to make sure that he's
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
one moment,
tip
once over,
top.
please.
Yep.
Doing an insight?
Seeing the same thing.
Oh man,
insight?
you're blinded by cute old man. She's like, oh, he's too cute and innocent to do any harm.
Could I join in on that? Because I had
Yeah,
the same
sure.
thought.
Oh, damn it! I have insight on it. I mean, I have advantage on insight too.
Oh, I didn't do.
No.
Yeah.
You've never met Lozan before. You've definitely heard of him. You've probably talked to him maybe once or twice through messages a very, very, very long time ago. He seems legit. It doesn't seem like he has any ulterior motives or
And he
trying
seems
to
to be who he
ascertain.
says he is.
Yeah, it seems like he is who he says he is.
Okay. Yeah, so kind of giving them the opportunity to just give them a quick once over, just to double check. Yursa would just explain like how her staff works and like how she pulls from, you know, the nature around her and, you know, the Feywild to like kind of imbue the power in it and how it. She would also explain the detail about how like the person connected also needs to be severed and like that tether has to be broken in order to close the rift, just so he understands all the finite details about it.
Yeah, as you're saying all of those things, when you mention the removal of the tether, he kind of squints a little bit but goes, honestly, we've gotten pretty much everything we could from Mechanus, and I know that using the power from the rift is not something we should have done. I'm fine with this decision. Daggerham will not deteriorate. We have learned many things from the plane of time. I think it's time. No pun intended.
Wait, is she inferring that like he's obviously the one connected to it? Yeah, okay. If it means anything, I understand how hard that decision is. It's the same for me with Lunaria, and I have not found it in myself to close it permanently yet. But to this day, till all this happened, there was never an issue. And I was hoping to find a way to stabilize it so we wouldn't have to close it permanently. But I'm afraid we don't have any more time, for no pun intended, to figure that out anymore.
I
What
agree.
you're doing is a very great sacrifice.
Well, until you all show up, I'll go back to Thulbadir and make sure that those fucking creatures are dealt with. Until then, good luck, Seekers. And good luck, Realm Warden.
Yursa will nod.
And you see he hobbles back to the teleportation circle and teleports away. Garen looks over to all of you and says,
I'll repeat what everyone else has said. Good luck. Hopefully, the next time we meet is on the other side of tables, drinking after victory. Goodbye for now.
and he steps through the teleportation circle, leaving all of you alone as you look to one another. If there's nothing else you need to talk about, in the privacy of the demi-plane of the summit.
Gak had a question to the group.
So, are we going straight to Janu and then heading straight out to get the Kraken?
I was thinking we should, but why do you ask?
I was just wondering, because I know that, like, our time in the Astral Sea was not everyone's normal time, because we were on, like, the Illithid ship. But I know that there are other ships that fly around up there, and they look like normal ships for the most part. And I wasn't sure if it'd be possible. This might be a dumb idea, but I was thinking if we had one of those ships, we could make it look like it was a normal ship, but then when the Kraken tried to get us, we like take off and it can't reach us, and we can attack it from far away.
Gek, I just had a fantastically idiotic idea thanks to your idea.
Those. I like those.
The Citron Emperor, he said we could anything we needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if, and hear me out, what if we sail 2 ships? One we're on, and the other one, you know, we are, I don't know, we'd have to be able to sail both of them somehow, but one of them is full of explosives of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the Kraken goes to devour the ship, we blow it up.
That could be pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool plan.
I don't think it's dumb.
I like
That's
that
yellow.
plan.
Yeah. I don't think it's dumb either.
Anything's worth a chance at this point. Yes, Ryan.
No, this is Gideon.
Oh,
raising his
yeah,
hand.
yes, Gideon. Sorry,
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were raising your hand
Sorry.
for John. Yes,
No.
yes, Gideon.
No. How are you going to trigger the explosion?
That's why I was hoping someone with a little bit more intelligence than me could figure out the catalyst.
Well, what if one of us was on the ship steering it, and then as soon as it gets attacked, we like light it on fire and then plane shift to the other boat?
What if
Nick,
I was on the
does
boat?
Gak have what is it called? The warp door? Dimension door?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh.
He does have plane shift though.
Why have we never bought scrolls, you guys?
I did.
One more thing for anybody in the room. Could we have a scroll of dimension door? Orion, are you here?
No one's there.
Fuck.
I should have looked first before I asked. Man, why'd they all leave us
That's
here
fine.
alone?
I mean, there is a war going on.
Ah!
I don't know if you guys have seen Godzilla -1, but that's the only thing I'm
No
thinking
spoilers.
about.
I haven't seen it yet.
They have a really cool thing in Orion. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, movie's
A really
ruined. You might as well
cool
tell me
thing.
what it is now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't say it. I'll never forgive you.
You gotta watch it.
I want to. I've just been busy.
I mean, she would say, I can be on the other boat because we know the Kraken, at least in the past, has talked directly to me. Unless someone else feels more comfortable.
I think what might be a good idea is to have 2 people, so Yersa, you can cast plane shift and the other person can detonate the explosives.
I
That's a
got
good
fire
idea.
stuff.
That's wise.
I also have plane shift if needed.
Okay. Okay.
But we're talking timing is going to be close. So, I mean, if we're going to do this, you have to do it and get off. Just no improving.
Maybe someone who could fly?
I think that's what the plane shift is for like Yursa's plane shift, is to get them off the ship.
Right. I just meant like could still use it, but if the person could fly, that's like an extra layer of protection. So like let's say something happens, they don't have to worry about. I don't know. That was just an idea.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Just to be fair, I think every one of the party members can fly.
I can't.
I can't.
Okay.
That's
Two of
okay,
the
I
party
can
members can't
teleport.
fly.
But like, didn't we say like I could fly on Bigby's hand or something?
Yeah. You can use Bigby's
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
But you flew in the last combat encounter. Did you drink a potion of flying?
Yeah, I had a potion of flying from when we went to the Sea of the Dying, and we never drank it because we found out we could fly.
That's right. Okay. So
is that the plan?
I
think that's a
have
good plan.
no qualms. Yeah.
I too have no qualms.
I don't have
Who do we want on the boat? Because multiple people can cast plane shift. Agak wants to do the fire.
I've got fire stuff.
He's got fire stuff.
I think having having 2 is good, because that provides the least room for error.
Yeah, and plane shift, we all have to like hold hands.
Yeah.
So if 2 people could just be next to each other the whole time, it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Frickin'.
Did you want to go, Rachel?
I can.
Bazal and Gazak.
Well, we were gonna have Yursa on the detonating ship because the Kraken would probably go after her first.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
That was my
Detonation, no breathe. Got it. Okay, so you're
Get it.
Sagak on detonation
Yeah.
No breathing.
duty. What was that matchup in Call of Duty? What was it called? No, that was domination. Not
Yeah.
Domination. Yeah, set the little bomb on the thing. Okay, yeah, that's us. Okay.
Okay. And then Gideon, Enid, myself, and Basil on the other one. So we need 2 ships, and one of the ships needs to be full of explosives.
One last question.
Uh-huh.
What if the Kraken attacks our ship first?
Then our plan is ruined.
Okay.
Then we tried.
Well, then, okay. So, plan
There's
B
a third shift.
in that scenario is they steer the ship into the other ship and they crash it and then they blow it up and then we just have to kill the Kraken in the water.
Or
I'm gonna veto Plan B real quick.
or our ship could fly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're assuming that the Syrian government has
a little
their
bit more
ship.
a little bit more prep time. Do we know that the Nautiloid is destroyed?
Oh my god.
Gideon does.
Let's just go blow up his ship.
You know what?
That's
Never
in
mind.
character.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
Enid.
Yeah. Let's just go and we'll figure it out if that doesn't work out. I'm tired of planning. I want to go do something.
Let's go do.
So no improv in Plan A, but if Plan A doesn't work, then it's all improv from there. All right?
100%.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Go team.
Yeah, I guess.
Great. Hey Siri, ring ring. Give me bombs. Hang up.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are no bombs.
Our plan's ruined.
Well, then I guess we gotta make the ship fly.
Gideon, just build a bomb.
Okay.
Wrong movie.
Seekers of Insomnia, you leave the summit.
True.
Ooh, who's that?
You plane shift and/or which one are you? Actually, I just need to point this out to everyone, because there have been nothing but war for the past 2 months. And I don't know if anyone didn't catch that, but it were 2 months in the future. You have been fighting nonstop. You've slept here and there, but because of the lack of sleep, all of you do have 1 point of exhaustion. It is already on your character sheet. It is there.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's for
Sucks,
fighting for 2
but it's
months in a
fair.
war.
What war? Sorry, kidding.
There is no war in Boston
is no
City.
Okay, so what is the mode of transportation? Are we doing transport via plants or plane shift? This matters because you have to mark off.
Via plan.
Can we go to Janu through the teleportation circle that the Siri people just used?
That will take you to Al Shaham, but it'll get you closer.
Let's plants it up.
I guess either way we have to get out
Plants.
of the demi-plane, so...
Yep.
Lunch.
I'm gonna say plane shift.
Okay.
Wait.
So plane shift, mark off the slot for plane shift.
Okay, hold on. Where are my things? I'm gonna use plane shift through my not plane. Wait, we said plants, right?
Plants.
Plants.
However you want.
Whichever one you
Because-
want to use.
Yeah, because I can only use 1 6th level spell right now, so.
So
Plants.
we will say that it has been at least a day. It is technically at this point midwinter, which is technically Christmas. It's fitting. You guys are getting a lot of gifts from the Citron government. As you call in the favor, the 2 ships are ready in the port of Janu. One of them fitted with arcane explosions that can be triggered with fire, or if a mage rolls, or someone who is proficient in Arcana can just trigger them by kind of waving their hand at the arcane runes on the ship and just exploding. Gunpowder doesn't exist yet, but arcane explosion's probably bigger.
I'm working on it.
You effectively kind of have dragon fire on the. Actually, that's probably exactly what you have. You probably have dragon fire on the ship. That's more magical and cool. We'll say that. So as you get to the ships, to the 2 ships, you embark. Yursa on one, the rest of the party on another. You sail into the ocean between the continents of Ephira and between the continents of Siri. During this time, it will be about a day's worth of travel to get where you are going. You have some time to rest and prepare yourselves. Is there anything anybody would like to do during this time before you fight the Kraken?
The potions of water breathing. Those
Yes, there's one for each of you.
Those last an hour, right? Potion of water breathing, 1 hour. Yeah, so as we're approaching the destination, I think regardless, we should all take them just to be safe.
Just in case.
Yeah. Glug, glug, glug!
Yeah.
Anybody else?
So John, so like let's say a diamond that's worth 500 versus the diamond that's worth, I think, is it 100?
Mm-hmm.
Can you remind me of the big difference between, like, is the 500 one more powerful, or?
It's just whatever spell you're casting has a cost to it, right? So like Revivify, I believe, is like a diamond worth 100 gold or something like that.
Yeah.
So you need diamonds that are worth that much to do those spells. I think like Resurrection or one of those.
Oh.
1,000 gold or something like
Yes.
that. So it's just
That's why
based
it
on the
was 2
cost value.
diamonds. Okay. I would like to buy a Rego diamond and then another set of the 1,000. So
Okay,
like
you
the
want-
2 to.
Oh, you would have. Those will be provided.
I
in the
got the
ship.
money. I got the money.
I'm just thinking timing wise. You wouldn't have real time to go shopping.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you say that to Nazim, it'll be on the ship ready for you.
Both of those?
I'll say the first one.
The Rego?
Yeah.
Rego Diamond. Okay, that's fine. I will accept.
I also have 2 more things. Rian is going to use a 2nd level spell slot to cast Aid. So,
Are you doing this before the battle?
yeah, before the battle.
Okay.
And it's for 8 hours, so I would have just done it as soon as we started to set sail. So I'm going to say myself, because it's only 3. Myself, Enid, and who has the lowest hit points? Because Enid and Rian are melee, but who has the lowest hit points out of everybody?
I've got 88.
It's probably Gak.
It's probably Gak.
Okay, and Gak. All 3 of us can increase our hit point maximum by 5 and increase our total by 5. Just get 5 extra hit points. Boom. Not a lot, but... And then the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my action for the Kraken to attack, and as soon as we roll initiative, to drink a potion of haste. I'm just going to pop the cork, and I'm just going to wait.
Can you, I hate to ask this, can you type that in the chat so I don't forget?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a bad, I can't remember shit, so.
Hey,
I can.
John.
Yeah.
Could I say that during the time traveling, could I attune to the amulet of proof against detection and location?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then, Fel, I don't know if you remember, but Enid would still have the parapet of wound closure.
Yes, I remember. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll just say,
Okay.
and I can type this out for Gideon if it would help you. But yeah, as soon as he sees the Kraken go, I'll type it out, but I'll just say it right now.
Yes.
As soon as he sees the Kraken going for the other ship, or sees the Kraken in general, he's gonna cast Crown of Stars and then bonus action drink the water breathing potion.
Okay.
I will now type that out for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other actions or anything anyone's readying?
I am messaging.
I don't know what to. Oh, go ahead.
No, like I'm messaging behind the scenes.
Ooh, secrets.
Because Urso's gonna be just on like plane shift duty, I don't want to ready anything else. So she's just gonna be waiting on Gak to detonate, and then the moment that happens, we're getting out of here. So I will ready plane shift, I guess, holds plane shift through my staff as soon as detonation has happened.
Okay. Okay. See something real quick. Cool. I would like everybody to roll a perception check. And I'll go down the list. Okay. Actually, I can just look at the list. 18, 19, 24. Well, actually, Ursa, you're on the other ship, so you wouldn't actually see any of this.
Correct.
Yeah, Ursa, you wouldn't see this. Basil, you're down below deck, and you see Enid walk into Gak's room. And as you kind of follow behind, you hear a And as you open the door, you see dust that has been kicked up and almost like magical, like almost glitter-like substance kind of falling down. A plane shift spell has been cast. The two of your companions are gone. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Do you call out to anyone?
I think she. Could she? So she's by herself.
Yeah. You're down below deck. You're on the second floor.
And what do I need to? Do I need to be below deck?
No, you
Or
don't
am I
need
just-
to. I'm just saying
okay.
that you were there and you saw it.
Probably run upstairs then.
Okay. You run upstairs and you alert those on the top deck, which would be Rianne and Gideon. You are alerted that Gak and Enid have plane shifted somewhere.
So sorry, I'm a little confused. Wasn't Gak on the other ship with Ursa?
No, I think Yrsa's the only one on the other ship.
No,
But
we were
Gak's
going to
there
have
trigger the
Oh,
Jack
they were
was there to
gonna-
trigger the explosion.
Yeah.
There was two of them. That was always the plan.
Oh, then Nick, you're I forgot. Yeah.
There's Misty Step.
We're
What?
Enid and Gak plane shift to Stellaris, and Gak tries to learn how to cast the Spelljammer to create a Spelljammer out of the ship. 2 hours pass, and Gak and Enid return. That's it.
Hi.
And Gak's just sneaking around.
On Ursa's ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Enid
I
will
forgot that
sneak
Gak was over
back
there.
to her ship.
Gak will miss
There
it.
is there is a, I guess, a scalding that happens on the non-exploding ship. Gak, you learn. I mean, you don't learn how to do the Spelljammer spell in hours, but you could learn it if you spent time up there to learn it and or find a scroll. But
Scroll
considering
is the
that.
plan.
Make a perception check, I guess. Investigation. 16. I will say. Sure. You're able to find a one-use spell to turn a... It's not the full spell. It is a spell that allows you to create or make a ship into a Spelljammer for 1 day. And it is a scroll. So now you have an escape plan should the Kraken attack the other ship. You can make the ship fly if you want.
Sick.
So, back to two-ship method. Yrsa, you hear in your mind as you get closer to the area where the Kraken was last seen.
Hello, little one. Back so soon. Got tired of watching your friends and family die. Your companions.
Can she respond?
Yeah.
Okay. She would just say, well, I thought maybe you and I could talk. Face to face. I've helped creatures like you before, and maybe I can help you. I know that you're just confused right now. And I think that you're being controlled, and I can help send you back home.
I do not need your help. Rift warding. I like who I am now. I have grown in power, and now I hold dominion over your oceans. Welcome to my new home. So, now that you know I do not want your help, you want to meet face to face, correct?
Well, now that I know that you don't want my help, I have to kill you. So yes.
I would love to see you try, little one.
Yursa,
Yes.
the connection is cut. And I need you to make a persuasion check.
Okay. Can I guidance myself?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Guidance.
Bat. Persuasion.
Bat?
Okay. Oh, my persuasion's not great. Oh, didn't matter, baby. Good rodo. I'm gonna put that guidance on there real quick. Come on. Wait. What? On D&D Beyond, it showed an 18. I have to go look at the log. Nope. Wait. Huh?
Oh.
Sometimes the D&D Beyond dice roller, like, were you talking about the actual dice, or did it say 18 on D&D Beyond?
No, the actual dice landed on an 18.
Yeah. I found that sometimes I'm like so certain, I'm like, oh, it's a 17, and then it's like,
Yeah.
it logs the one next to it. No, it's just a little weird.
That's why I said that, but I guess
Go
I
ahead.
rolled a 7. No.
Go ahead and roll again.
Okay, I'll do that. Say less. That was deceptive. Okay, I'm gonna look at the number this time and not what's on the dice. 18. Okay.
Plus your 3 for guidance.
Yay. Thanks, Sean.
Okay. How far away is the other ship?
I mean, it'd be a pretty sizable blast, so we'd probably, what do we think?
Nautical mile?
Well, I want to be close enough that we can still participate in combat, what do we say to 120 feet?
I'd say a ship could probably move that fast in a turn.
Okay.
With dash, give your ship a dash action and you can get there.
That close to the explosion would not catch us, right? Because, I mean, I assume we'd try to figure out how big this explosion's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be a massive explosion, but I'm not going to make an explosion on 150 feet radius.
Okay.
That's a nuke.
Cool, then I'm good with that.
All right, the 500 kilogram. That's what we got loaded up in that.
Yeah.
In the ship.
Okay.
All right, 120 feet back, cruising.
Those in the ship without the explosions, you see ripples around your ship. And you look over, Gideon, you notice there are small squid-like creatures. And then you swear that you see about 60 feet down, bright red eyes, multiple, matching the abyssal creatures you've seen before. Now, Yursa and Gak. Gak, you are informed the Kraken could potentially be on their way. You ready? What's the action you were readying, Gak?
Readying Scorching Ray. Maybe, yeah, like a third level, just so there's like multiple.
Okay. You start to ready the Scorching Ray, and Yursa and Gak, you feel the waves kind of grow around the ship. The ship starts to sway back and forth.
Gak grabs Yursa's hand. That's like
Yrsa,
fires
you-
coming out of the other one.
You ready your plane shift, Yursa?
Yes, absolutely, I do.
Okay. Yursa, I would like you to make a final check. Make a survival check as you notice that the ship grows still.
18 is my favorite number too.
Your guidance.
Oh, yeah, that would still be on. Oop.
You watch as the ship stops, and you see tentacles start to raise from the ocean around the ship. They start to coalesce around and start to grab the ship around. And you hear,
Right. Food my children.
and these large tentacles raise from the ocean, the ones you saw previously. But Yursa, you were preparing for this. Gak, you were preparing for this. The Kraken has a hold of the ship. Gak, you let loose the Scorching Ray. And in that very instance, as it leaves your hand, the three beams that are targeted towards the arcane runes that will eventually ignite the arcane explosions on the ship. Yursa, you watch those leave Gak's hand, and you cast plane shift at the exact same time. You end up on the other ship, and in an instant, all of you kind of wince away as you see the ship 150 feet away explodes in a massive cloud of smoke and fire, and you see the tentacles of the Kraken, some of them kind of lob off into the ocean. You hear this horrible screeching sound of psionic energy in all of your brains. You each take 2 points of psychic damage as the Kraken screams out in pain. Yursa, I'd like you to roll 50d6.
Oh, that's a spicy number. Okay.
50d6. That's a
50d.
the maximum of
Does this work?
300.
Oh, that's not how that works, Kayla.
Come on. Roll 300, Kayla. Just all sixes.
Be crazy.
Hey!
Number.
Above average.
Above average.
The Kraken takes 168 points of explosion damage.
Yeah, it's not.
And
It doesn't have an
idea,
elemental
boys.
type. It's just explosion.
Explosion damage. Damage that goes boom.
And once again, the screech is let out, and you all again take 2 points of psychic damage. And you watch the Kraken dive downward into the water. Gideon, you watch all of those abyssal creatures, those juvenile Kraken, start to disperse, following their leader. The Kraken is on the run. The Kraken is swimming away from the ship. As the wind catches the sails, you sail towards where the Kraken was. You start to make your way through the wreckage of the ship around you. Kraken's not on the surface, but the Kraken is below you. What are you doing?
Do we see it directly below us?
You see a trail of purplish green. It's bioluminescent, actually. This blood that is trailing from the top that goes down. You can see the trail of blood. You can't see the Kraken itself, but you can follow the blood trail.
I mean, we gotta go after it, right? This is our chance.
Yeah, Brienne's gonna pop the potion of haste. Splunk. He's gonna dive.
Gideon leaves his hat on deck, dives.
Enid's gonna take Basil's hand, give it a kiss, and say, "Shall we?"
Basil will jump in.
Without Enid. All right. Follow me behind her.
That's what I heard.
No, they're holding hands.
I guess a quick question for you, John.
Yeah.
I know that a Spelljammer has an atmosphere around it with like breathable air. Does that mean that a Spelljammer could go underwater?
It has a fly speed, not a swim speed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it could, maybe.
Well, before jumping in, Gak's gonna cast the spell to make it a Spelljammer, and then he's gonna take the potion and jump in.
I will say the Spelljammer is not going to be able to go in the water. Like, it can stay on the surface, but yeah, it won't be able to like have a speed in the ocean.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, but it technically would give you. If it got underwater somehow, it would definitely be like a submarine. I guess it would have a protective bubble of air around it, because that's how it works in space.
But yeah, he'll cast it to make it a Spelljammer, so when we come back to the ship, it'll already be one. But then he'll take the potion and jump in.
Okay. So, as you dive in, you start to get clarity below you of the Kraken slowly trying to run away. But as it sees all of you, it turns around. You see all of the lights on its body, this bioluminescence light up, and you watch as one of the juvenile Kraken starts to lash out towards you. Rianne, you are falling faster than everybody else because you are wearing plate armor. You cannot swim, technically,
I do have the
because
boots
you
of
have plate
flying.
armor.
Kind of help a little bit.
So you could use those. But you fall the fastest, and your feet land on this like stony, almost coral reef structure as you're on the ground, almost like the skeletons from Pirates of the Caribbean. You're just on the bottom of the ocean. The rest of you are about 20 feet up from Rianne in the water. The juvenile Kraken around you is also 20 feet up in the water. And Rianne, you see on the bottom where you are, these dog-like abyssal creatures that have these tentacles are starting to swim towards you, and all of you can see the Kraken in the center. As I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Real quick, could the levels be updated on the tokens? Because it looks like only Gideon's 20 feet up.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
not
I thought you meant
cool.
that.
Yes, sorry, not to nitpick ASAP. This is very cool. but it's just like looking at it, like, wait a second.
I
Is
didn't
the
even realize
Kraken
what
in this cavern thing, or is it floating above
Yeah.
it? Oy.
I mean, it's floating in the center. Like, it's not
Okay.
all the way down.
It's
You
giving
can see it.
Cthulhu.
I forgot how cool the art for the Kraken was, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Thanks,
For the
Midjourney.
mother of all Krakens. Who?
Actually, exactly.
Damn, Felicity 27.
Welcome to your first boss bar.
Ready.
Whoa!
That's
It's a
cute.
boss
Look at
bar.
us.
Look at us. We already look at
Wow.
that chunk we
I was
did.
about to say that really hurt it.
You did a lot of damage to the
Hell
Kraken.
yeah.
We in it. I don't know how to do the fucking effects. Hold on. I need it. I need the effects. There it is. There we go. Now we got bubbles.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Balls.
All right. Combat begins.
The Atmos.
Enid, you are slowly falling down. You can see these abyssal creatures starting to surround Rian at the bottom. This juvenile Kraken behind you starting to make your way towards you. And the Kraken itself.
Yeah. And I'm assuming the Kraken can see me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to use her first action to do the Boots of Haste. So
Okay.
double my movement speed there. Who's up next? Basil. Okay, wait. Is this baby Kraken 15 feet? Nobody's in 5 feet of an enemy. Sucks. Okay. Sweet. The Kraken is hovering, so like it's at the same level as
Yeah, it's at
like
the same level as like Rian is. So it's like it's 20 feet down from you.
Okay. And it is looking in our direction.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to use my feature. As long as I'm not in view, I can.
I will
see
say
the
this right now.
Well,
No
I
matter
always-
where you go, you're kind of in view.
Okay. Well, you know what? Fuck it. We will. All right, I'm gonna
will-
set us up, Rianne. Okay, I'm gonna
Before-
set us up here. What?
Just before everything, any melee attack under water is at disadvantage, and you cannot shoot any ranged weapons underneath water, like crossbows, bows. Like they all just you shoot it and just.
So does that mean
But-
Enid? Well, never mind.
I would say the shadow blades are a different story because they're not like physical really, but weapons underneath like swords and stuff it will be a disadvantage.
Okay. So my attacks aren't unless I use a physical weapon.
Physical weapons, right?
Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to take up a million years here.
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. I think I'm still gonna do my plan. It's not exactly what I was going for, but that's okay. Okay. Even though I have tons of movement speed, I need that advantage for a sneak attack. So I'm going to use the teleport ability from the... Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It's on my sheet, though. I should just look at it. From Lazarus's Twin Shadows. And I will... If I can't move myself, it says...
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Because if I... Well, first I guess we'll fucking swim 30 feet. First.
Okay.
Damn. And then we'll teleport 30 feet here. And then I still have a 30 movement speed. So we'll go here. Sorry, my love. I know we're supposed to be in range of each other. That's okay. I gotta go. And then I should get advantage on my next attack. And I'm gonna use my psionic blades so I don't get the disadvantage. And sneak attack. That's what we doing. Okay. Yep. I hope psychic damage is okay. That's the one I'm gonna go with. All right. So first attack, or with advantage though, but so
20.
26.
26. 26 does hit.
Okay. that one with the sneaky sneak.
Okay.
And I have my bonus action still, but I think I might just end my turn here because I don't know if I need to do anything else. No, my bonus action was a teleport. Never mind, I can't. Anyway, that's my turn. Sorry for taking so long, guys.
At the end of your turn, Zaltrax is going to use 2 of its legendary actions as you watch the tentacles that it still has. You watch its bioluminescent lights on its back start to crackle with lightning energy as it just fires lightning in the water towards those around, as it is going to cast its lightning storm. 3 bolts of lightning. Creatures within 120 feet. I need.
Is it a legendary action?
It's a legendary action. It's not a spell.
Yeah.
It's going to be towards Yursa, towards Rian, and towards Enid because you just hit it.
Is it a dex save?
Dex save. Yep.
Everybody around Rian gets +4, and this doesn't count as a spell, right? This is just an ability.
It's an ability. What's the aura?
10 feet.
They're 20 feet up in the water.
Oh, all right.
So you don't get a +4.
Sucks to suck, everybody. Should wear heavy armor.
I'm gonna use one of my thingos to add to that. Should be a D8. My psionic ability. So I feel like a 17 won't do it, you know?
Mine is a dirty 20.
Okay. So what's your total score, Enid?
Well, I don't want to cheat here. So it does say if you fail an ability check using a skill or tool which you have proficiency, which I don't think this qualifies because this is a saving throw. I have proficiency. Okay, then I got a 17.
Okay. That is a failure for everybody.
But I have whatever it's called, so I still take half.
Evasion.
Yeah, evasion.
Okay, so you'll take half damage. Okay, so that is 12 points of lightning damage to you, Enid, and 25 points of lightning damage to Rian and Yursa. And that means you are up, Basil.
Okay. So I think I'm going to cast my Spirit Guardians
Okay.
at 3rd level
Okay.
because I don't know what else to do.
What's the range of Spirit Guardians?
15. Yeah, 15.
Okay.
So, and then I'm gonna have her move. It's anything in the circle, right? Or those little
It
boxes
starts
only.
its turn and first enters it, yes.
Okay. So if I were to move, I want to go.
They look like fishies.
I was just thinking that.
That's so cute.
Juvenile Kraken needs to make a. What is the save?
It is Wiz.
Wisdom?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. It's so good at wisdom. It's a 16 total.
Wait, what does it have to?
Yours is better than 16. I don't know what it is.
I know.
but it's
I'm
better
trying
than
to
that.
remember. What is it?
Your spell
Is
save
it just
DC.
the spell save DC?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where to see that.
In your spells tab,
Spells.
it should say save DC next to the spell attack.
It's as if I've never played this game before. Oh, 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your damage for Spirit Guardians. Also, guys, let me know if the animations on the screen are way too much, and then I will turn some of them off.
Well, totally.
Ooh, 8 points of radiant. All right.
That's it. That's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. Is now the abyssal creature swarm. That's not the abyssal creature swarm. Did it fucking change it again? No, it's not. Okay. Well. What the bitch? Abyssal Ravager. Wait. Let me see. 30 foot. Oh. Yep. Okay. It's going to use its last legendary action to do a tentacle attack against you, Enid.
Okay. Disadvantage though, because I got on my belt of displacement.
Okay. That is a 20 and a 30.
Well, the 20, that's my AC now with the Boots of Haste, so I guess favor the swinger.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to hit you.
Hit me.
You take 26 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
Oh no.
By its tentacles. And I'll go ahead and do this, and then draw a little. All right, cool.
This is technical. Do I stay put?
You have no movement while you're grappled. You can't move.
Okay, but it doesn't move me.
Not yet.
Oh.
This is going to run up to you, Rian, and it is going to multi-attack and make 3 attacks against you: a bite, a claw, and a tail.
Okay.
Let's see. There's a 13 to hit on the bite.
Nope.
A 21 to hit on the claw.
Nope.
25 to hit on the tail.
25 just hits.
Jesus fucking Christ.
The Palor's armor is +3.
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Gideon, it is your turn.
All right. Felicity, are you okay with Enid's situation, or do you need help getting
No,
out of
I'm
that?
fine. I
Alright.
have my ways.
All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Appreciate you.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's going to take that 8 radiant damage. Basil, go ahead and roll damage for your Spirit Guardians, because it entered the Spirit Guardians.
Oh.
Go ahead, Gideon. Sorry.
Okay, you said it went to Rian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the music got like really loud all of a sudden.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You cast it 5th level, didn't you?
Third.
No.
Oh,
Third, because I'm saving, but still. I've gotten way better on third before.
So, if it attacked Rian, Gideon's still 20 feet above whatever this thing is, right? The abyssal whatever.
Ravager, yep.
Alright. Well, just to be safe, he's going to move 30 feet this way.
Swim?
Yeah. Alright. Then let's get some damage out. Alright, bonus action. Gideon's going to fire off one of his star motes.
Okay.
From the Crown of Stars he cast earlier. There you are. 26.
On the Ravager, yeah.
No, the Kraken.
Oh, still hits.
Alright.
Just barely. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Joe, I assume you're good with the Ravager. Like, I don't think you need Gideon's help on that one.
No, I wasn't even going to attack it. I'm going straight for the Kraken.
Sick. Alright, cool. Glad we're all on the same page.
You're good. You're good, big dog. 10-4.
Alright, so 26 damage from the star mote crashing into it.
Okay.
And then, because we can, I mean, you know it, you love it, We gotta do that twin disintegrate on the Kraken and the Ravager guy, I guess, just because I can't target the same thing twice. So I'm gonna need Dex save. I think it's Dex. Yes, Dex saves from both of them.
Okay. Dex save?
Yep.
It's a natural 1 on the Kraken. It doesn't matter which Ravager. Dex.
The one on Rian, just because, you know, on principle, I guess.
Yeah. 15.
Alright, cool. Those are both fails.
Yep.
Do you just want me to roll the one time and it'll be the same damage, even though it's two different?
No, roll twice. It's two
roll
different
twice.
things.
Okay. Kraken first.
Okay.
Alright. And then other guy.
Oh, I did not mean to move the Kraken. I'm sorry. Decent chunk taken out of the Kraken.
Yeah.
Chonk.
63.
For the Ravager guy, yeah.
Yeah, as you cast the spell, it is a very dull as it hits the Ravager, and it just turns to ash. And Rian, you're kind of like, ugh, as the ash kind of just floats past you in the water from the Ravager, is dead.
Sorry, I can't control the oceans yet.
Hey, man, that's my domain.
That's true. All right, that will be it for Gideon.
Okay. Rian, you're up.
All right, I'm going to move 30 feet here. I took the potion of haste before I came down, so I'm under the effects of the haste spell. So I'm going to move 30 feet there.
Are you flying?
Yeah, the boots of flying are active, just because it doesn't take anything to activate them. I just have a fly speed whenever I use it. It just takes up time. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my feet from, you know, being killed by Ishna, Nightcrawler's step, and I am going to teleport half my movement speed as a bonus action. I take a d6 of force damage.
Damn.
Ouch, haven't used it in a bit. I'm a little out of practice. And my movement speed 60, I'll teleport, so my teleport's range is 30 feet, so I'll just teleport like 30 feet. We'll do like 20 feet here and then 10 feet up. So I'm kind of above the Kraken
We'll
a bit.
say that you could technically like teleport onto one of the tentacles, like right above its head.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
It looks up at you.
And, well...
What are you doing up there?
What's up, bucko? So now my attacks... let me get the exact language here. I can't recall if it is the first one or if it is all of them. Vision trait. Sorry. Nightcrawler step. First attack roll against a creature made by you or an ally within 5 feet of teleported space has advantage. So the first attack I make has advantage, cancels out to just a straight roll.
Okay.
So first one.
17 is a miss.
Okay. All right.
Wait, that wasn't advantage, was it?
No, because you said all melee attacks have disadvantage, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
So 16 also misses. Sure, all action surge.
Slice and...
Yeah.
Sorry, underwater combat, man.
So, 18.
18 just hits.
All right. There's that, and then I will also put a third level smite into it for an extra 4d8 damage. So it's going to be 40 points of damage total on that one, and then I have one last hit from my action surge. 19 and a 9 for 23 total.
Yeah?
Or not 23 total. Yeah, 23. So 25, and then I'll do another third level smite for an extra 48. Another 18. So that'll be 30, 40, 43 points of damage.
Yeah. As you first try to attack, you can see the Kraken looking at you. Its smaller tentacles are trying to writhe up towards you, trying to grab you. As you're trying to slice into it, you eventually get an opening and stab down. Instead of slicing, you notice that your sword is a lot more faster if you just stab. So as you stab down and you smite, all of you see in the darkness where the Kraken is, you see this bright light just... And then once again, as you see blood starting to pool up, Enid, you were kind of picked up off the ground a little bit as the Kraken writhes. As it does scream out in pain, all of you do take 2 points of psychic damage. And I will retroactively say that the damage that Gideon dealt also is 2 points of psychic damage to everyone. Rian, is that your turn?
No, I still have my hasted action, so I will... And we should forget about that one. I'm going to take one more attack. Disadvantage.
Okay.
23 again.
Yep, hits.
All right, and this time a second level smite for 3d8. 7 for 33.
Okay. Kraken is looking very rough. As you stab down one more time, you stab into its left eye. As you hear it scream once again, everyone 2 points of psychic damage. One of its eyes completely disabled. You see that it is writhing in pain around.
All right. And this time, I don't want to pull the sword out. I want to kind of leave it jammed in there, just in case it decides to run away.
Okay.
That way I'm going for a ride, and that's it.
It is Zaltrax, mother of all Kraken, empress of the endless ocean's turn. As
it's a good name.
As you see its form start to blur a little bit, Rian, as you remember, it does have teleportation abilities, as it is going to teleport over here. Rian, you start to fall into the... Oh, no, you don't. You're flying. I don't know what I'm talking about. You have a swim speed. Damn it. Everyone fucking flies around here. They fly now. Or they have always flown.
Whose fault is that, John?
Look, you know, I did this to myself. I know that.
Rachel, you can't
But
say the
I'm glad
quiet
you
part
guys
out
love it.
loud, okay?
I love that you guys love it. So, you know, whatever.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
Let's see something.
Damn.
Yep. There we go. Nope, there. Oh. There we go. You watch as the lights start to turn this purple as you see it open its mouth, its large beak, and you see this purple energy start to emanate from inside as it releases this beam, this abyssal beam in a straight line towards all of you. I need Enid, I need Yursa, and Gak to make... Where the fuck is it? I just lost it. Dexterity saving throws.
And it isn't a spell?
It is not a spell.
Okay.
That's a fail, Yursa.
I am not rolling well.
That is a
on my
fail,
dex
Enid.
rolls. But I have evasion.
And that's a fail, Gak.
That's a fail, Gak.
Oh.
Okay, so Enid. You take... Oh.
What kind of damage is this, John?
Necrotic.
That's not I can absorb.
Oh, I'm resistant to necrotic damage? Band of Twilight. That made me... I was like, why am I resistant to this?
So you take half damage of the half damage.
Nice.
You take 18 points of necrotic damage.
That's the quarter.
Yep.
Oh no, you guys.
Holy hell.
Yursa and Gak, you take 72 points of necrotic
Oh my
damage.
god.
So, John, I don't know if you know if this is a thing for wizards, but under my defenses, it says I have resistance to all spell types.
It's
And
not
when
a spell, though.
Well, I mean, like damage. Like it says resistance. Well, okay, so what is this? It says cold because of the mountain-born thing, psychic because of the heart of Ioun, and then it says all. But then it says spell resistance in parentheses. So all damage if it's a spell, but not if it's not?
You have, I think it's like advantage on saving throws or something. It's like the thing that Rakshasa have, where they have advantage on spell. Well, I have to look at it. It's not, you definitely don't have it from the heart of Ioun. I know that.
Yeah, I know. And like when I hover over it, it says wizard. Like psychic, it says heart of Ioun. Cold, it says Goliath. And all, it says wizard. And I don't know why.
Is that from the custom subclass?
It may be. Where is this at?
It was. I never had it before though.
I see it.
Yeah, under my defenses, it just says all. I don't know
Spell
why.
resistance. Okay. This wouldn't be effective here. We need to figure out what that is, but this isn't a spell. None of this
No,
is
I'll
spell,
take.
so you
I'll
wouldn't
take
have
all of it. I was just looking at it like, what does this mean?
Okay.
So it's 72.
Yep. And then see, it is going to. Yeah, Enid, it's going to grab you, and as its mouth is open, it is going to consume you.
What?
Excuse me?
Enid disappears.
Looks like I'm going for a swim.
Enid, everything goes black around you as you start to feel this crushing around you. On your next turn, you will start. On the start of your next turn, you will start taking damage.
We're gonna Hercules this bitch, guys. I don't know what else to do.
And it is going to.
I know what to do. Sorry, never mind.
Swim 80 feet over here.
Yeah, you better run.
Yursa, you're up.
Okay, John.
Not with my wife in its stomach, though.
I'm going to
Get back here.
What is my speed? 40? Swim. Oh, I didn't move. Okay, I'm gonna swim 40 feet here. So we're underwater, right? So
Yes.
in theory, a water spell that I would cast would in theory be more powerful because I'm in the water. So here's my thought.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I want to cast Tidal Wave
Yeah.
at 6th level because it's
Okay.
bludgeoning damage, and I just want to like slap him with water. You know, like taking like a bunch of water because I'm in water and just but it's water, and I do more damage because I'm surrounded by it. You see my theory?
The theory is there. I hear it.
Okay. Okay.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Is it a save for Tidal Wave?
It sure is.
Okay. If you want to do that, it will deal damage normally. And I will make it have a special trait that if you can kind of use it to like move the tides and
Okay.
push the Kraken back towards all of you.
Yes, because in Tidal Wave it does say
Oh, that's right. They get pushed.
they don't get pushed. It could get knocked prone, but like I'll bring it towards me.
Okay. Yep. If you want to do that, go ahead.
Okay, it is a dexterity save.
Okay. Let me make a dexterity save.
Cast this at 6th level. My highest level spell slot. 12th level? Oh wait, did I cast at 6th level? That definitely did not cast at 6th level. Did it? Are we serious right now? What is this booty cheek damage?
I don't think that. Isn't it a 4th level spell?
It's a 3rd level spell.
What's its
Can I
initial?
upcast it?
It didn't increase the damage for some reason because it says, Oh wait, does it increase damage when you cast it at higher levels?
Oh, I don't. Maybe it doesn't. Ow! I thought all spells did. Am I dumb?
No.
I guess it doesn't.
No, most spells that have damage do. That's just weird that this one doesn't.
There's a few that don't, like Sickening Radiance and
Go ahead.
Static. I think
Just
don't.
Go ahead and roll 2 more d8.
Okay. Well, oh, I just rerolled the whole thing. Apparently.
We'll take the first 2 dice. So 2 and an 8.
that was
On
fast
top of
damage.
11 is, what is that, 13?
21.
Should have read my spell better.
21 points of damage. It did fail. It is going to use its legendary resistance to auto succeed.
Okay.
So it's going to take half
Forgot it
that
had
damage.
those.
Yeah, me too. When you disintegrated it.
Well.
Okay.
Well,
Now.
I would have did something else, but that's okay.
No. I'm still going to allow the pushing back of it because it's like it can't run from the water. The water's all around.
Yeah.
It. So, it's how much? 10 feet.
It wouldn't have, like, it's up to you because I don't think it actually moves. The creature just knocks them prone.
Right, but we're under ocean conditions. So what happens is you kind of reform the tides as you cast tidal wave. I mean, it is a underwater creature, so the water doesn't do as much damage. It kind of makes the pressure around it kind of harder. So as it kind of squeezes it, but the tide changes and pushes it back towards the party as that happens, which it's pretty far away from you guys. So it's pretty good that it's getting closer.
Bonus action, I'm going to shapeshift into a water elemental.
Ooh, okay. Do we have that one? We
I
don't.
don't think she's ever been that one before.
I don't think no, you haven't.
But it
That's
gives me a 90
cool.
foot swim speed, which is better than 40.
Hell yeah. We love that. Hold on. There's water elemental Ursa. I'm just gonna put you over here for a second. Hold on, water. I need to change the configure ownership to Ursa. Where you at? Owner. Boom. Bam. Move you. Put you here. There you go.
There you go.
Can you try to move that like 1 feet?
Yes, hold on. Ooh. Yep.
Nice. Sick. Cool. Is that your turn?
Yes. That's all I can do.
At the end of your turn, it is going to use its legendary action. It's going to use 2 legendary actions to do another lightning storm. Let's see. Within 120 feet, 3 targets. So that's going to be not Enid because she is gone.
Nah, he shouldn't.
Damn. Why you gotta phrase it like that?
It's going to be Gak. The only people.
Miss me when I'm
Brienne, the water elemental, and Gak. You need to make dexterity saving throws. It's a fail for Rian.
I'm sorry, is yours making a dex save? Oh.
Success for Gak.
Not that it'll matter.
Am I saving to John or no?
Yeah, you have to make a
Okay,
save.
sorry. I did not hear you. I probably just dex. No, I failed.
Okay. You are. No, sorry, that's the wrong one. Boop. Boop, 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 boop.
Just so you know, John, I'm gonna put my hit points as a water elemental in my temporary HP, just so I can keep track of that somewhere. So you
Okay.
can see it.
Okay, that's poo-poo damage. So we're going to... It's 21 points of damage, lightning damage to Rian and the water elemental, and that's 10 points of damage to Gak. Lightning damage, all of it. Holy shit. Gak, what the fuck?
Uh-huh.
Oh, holy shit. It's your turn, Gak.
All right. Well, with my 1 HP, as an action, I'm going to use my Heart of Ioun to create a prismatic barrier around me, giving myself 70 temporary hit points for 1 minute. And all attacks against me have disadvantage.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So I'm glad I got a turn. And for my bonus action, I'm going to drink a greater healing potion.
Sick. 14.
If you use your action, isn't it the full amount of healing?
He just uses action to do the
Action is the
barrier.
prismatic barrier.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why. I thought I heard you say action to drink a potion. My bad.
No, you're
okay. Gak single-handedly in a single turn goes from 1 HP to becoming a fort. As you see the Ioun stone kind of spin around you, Gak, and it spins faster and faster and faster as it creates this prismatic stained glass barrier around you, an orb. And then as you cast your drink your healing potion, feel a little bit better.
Gained 84 hit points.
Crazy. Vestiges. They're awesome.
Boom.
Awesome. Cool. So, is that your turn, Gak? Are you moving at all?
Yep. Yeah.
20 feet up right now. Cool.
Did just Gak's barrier move and not Gak?
Oh shit, the barrier didn't move and Gak did. How does that work? How do I
was like, what?
What the fuck? Damn. Okay, well, I gotta remove the barrier from you. Okay, well, now there's just a barrier there. I think it's just this one. There you go. Okay. Oh, crazy. Oh, it's back. Okay, at the end of your turn, Gak, yeah, Kraken's going to use its last legendary action to crunch. Enid, as you are being swallowed, you feel these almost like spines or jagged rocks down its throat as it's going to start to contract. As you're going to take a bite attack. You cannot dodge this. You take 20 points of piercing damage. It is the Abyssal Ravager's turn. This is going to swim up to Basil. Basil, go ahead and roll Spirit Guardians.
Let me find it really quick.
Nice. It is going to take 3 attacks against you, Basil. A bite, a claw, and a tail attack.
Okay.
First one's a 14.
Miss.
Second one's a 12. Damn.
Miss.
An 18.
Miss.
All right, cool. Starts to try to attack you, Basil, and you kind of just move around slowly. This thing is very slow. Cool. Juvenile Kraken's turn. It started its turn in the Spirit Guardians, so go ahead and roll Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
$17, nice. It is going to move up to you, and it's going to wrap its tentacles around you, Basil, and it's going to use its lightning strike. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit. Something that I am not. Where is my dex? There it is.
Oof. You are going to take 25 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And that is its turn. Enid, at the top of the round, you're going to take some damage.
At the top.
Yep, at the start of your turn.
Okay.
As you were being
What if it was at
swallowed.
the bottom?
You know?
Using my reaction, I'm going to ask you not to, John.
Well, unfortunately, Gideon and Gak, Enid's going to take 25 points of damage.
Ooh, that's not good.
As you are being swallowed further and further.
Okay, well, do I get my turn now?
Yes.
Okay. So, I enjoy the fact that they wanted to snack on me, but I don't enjoy being the snack. I'm going to use the ring, and I'm gonna go into the ethereal plane as a bonus action. Now, I do want to ask, it seems like with ethereal jaunt, the way I'm reading it is I can bonus action go into the ethereal plane, and there's a span of 1 minute that I can use my bonus action to go in and out. So like, let's say on my next turn, I wanted to become corporeal again, I could.
Yes.
And then the following, I could go back. And that's for that
it's like
1 minute.
It's like Blink, but you have
Okay.
control of it. So
Controlled
you can just
blink. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was reading it, but I wanted to make sure. Regardless, all I'm doing this turn is getting the fuck out of here. And I would like to bonus action turn ethereal and walk out of the Kraken.
I'll say that takes about 10 feet of movement to just...
Yeah, it said it would be difficult terrain. That is fine, because I'm going to use my hasted speed, swim speed of 60 feet. And then I'm going to use my action to dash. I'm getting out of here. I'm almost dead. I'm getting over to my wife, who can heal me.
Come here.
Because I'm
Basil,
at
you can't see
5
her
HP.
right now.
Yeah, can't see me right now.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm getting back because I'm at 5 HP and yep.
Everyone else still thinks
That's
that
true.
Enid is inside of the Kraken.
Everyone's still thinking I'm in the Kraken. That's funny. Anyway,
Okay.
that's my turn.
All right, Basil, you are up.
So I can't play as if I know you're there. Damn it.
No, but nothing can touch me right now anyway, so I'm like safe.
Well, okay, that's true. That's true. For the little thing that Gak is in, is it impenetrable to like a curing spell?
No. He's not in he's not in like a resiliency or anything. It's just he has this barrier around him that makes all attacks against him disadvantage.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
So I'm going to use my Flail of Wound Closure, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at, let's see, 5th level with my staff.
Okay. Wow.
To Gak.
Gak went from 1 HP to 700 HP in a matter of a turn.
By using the flail, is that when it is full health, or is it when someone's unconscious that it's full health?
Unconscious.
It's unconscious, yeah.
Gotcha.
33 points of healing, Gak. It's pretty sick. Okay. Is that your turn? Are you moving or doing anything like that?
Hold on, my foundry's fizzing out. I was going to... I don't remember how close the other one is to me. My stuff is still loading. Oh, there we go. Because if I move away from... Yeah, because I was going to move and then go back in. I don't know if there's anything I can do, because I've already done my action.
Okay.
So...
Same put?
Yeah, I'm not going to move.
Awesome. So, Gideon, it is your turn.
Okay, so I don't know why. I feel like I've asked this before, but this is a weird thing to ask. If so, Gideon still thinks that Enid's being chewed on, basically. Yes.
Yes.
Does he think that if disintegrate would kill the creature, it would also kill Enid, or would she be left free?
No, I think we've covered this. It's one entity, so like it would just be dust around Enid who was left.
Gotcha. Okay, so then Gideon's gonna get a little bit closer. I should zoom in. I cannot see the numbers. There we go.
Big
30
map,
feet.
guys, sorry.
No, it's okay. Okay. I mean, we're basically gonna rinse and repeat here. Bonus action. One of his star motes is gonna fire out.
Okay. That's a hit.
Oh, that was good damage. 36
29.
damage.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You
Crown of
see
Stars
as
is a
it-
cool spell.
As the star hits and explodes on the Kraken, you see it waver, and almost you see the one eye that is still good kind of close, and then open back up as it is going to screech out in pain once again. You take 2 points of psychic damage, everyone. Except for Enid, who's on the ethereal plane.
That is very good because I have 5 HP that I'm worried about. Perfect, thank you.
All right, and then. Sorry, 1 second. How far away is it? 80. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna throw a 6th level chromatic orb at it. For it is out of disintegrate range, unfortunately.
Go ahead.
Well, I was and we'll do acid damage, I guess. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
As the orb leaves and the spell takes hold, you watch the water around it start to bubble as it hits the acid. It's just like this around the orb as it kind of flows through the water, creating this like almost steam underneath the ocean at the same time. It's this weird combination as it kind of goes out. Is this a save?
No, this is a attack roll.
Oh.
No, not poison, acid. There we go. That's a 32 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Yep. Oh, D&D Beyond, you're so silly. 38.
Gideon. How do you want to do this?
I mean, I think Gideon's just gonna throw the chromatic orb like a baseball, and it'll just hit it in the forehead. And like that scene from X-Men First Class, it's just going to go all the way through and out the back of its head as it just drills through it.
Okay. As the chromatic orb hits, slowly the acid disintegrates and decays the skin as you hear this scream once again that you don't take damage from because it is immediately silenced as the orb goes through the entirety of the brain of this creature. And all of you watch as it goes still, as the chromatic orb comes out the other end, and then starts to flip upside down and start to fall, and then crashes into the ground underneath. You all sit there and watch as you have successfully defeated the Kraken. You all start to swim to the surface, leaving the body of the Kraken behind. I will ask, is anyone taking anything from the Kraken, or are we just leaving the body down here?
I think that we should probably take some manner to make sure that it's like permanently destroyed, so it can't be puppeteered or anything like that.
Gideon will disintegrate the corpse if we want to make sure that it can't come back.
But what about the other baby Kraken in the abyssal?
Yeah, so you guys make short work of those other two. They will continue to attack you, but the Kraken was the threat, not the other two small guys. So as you take down the Kraken, your focus is on to the Juvenile and the Ravager, and within seconds, they're both dead as well. But
I assume Enid pops out to say, "Hi, I'm alive." Just
Yeah.
All right,
she also
cool.
heals herself. So.
So, you disintegrate the body of the Kraken, and you make your way back to the surface. One of the two objectives that you have currently. I guess who is the one who sends a message to Emperor Nazim?
I could.
I'm not capable, so.
I can do it.
All right. Basil, you send a message, and you get a response back. It says, "All right. We will start our armies across the ocean to the capital. Good job. How many ships did I lose?"
Basil. Do I have to respond? Because I reached out to him first. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'll respond. I just didn't want to use up another slot. Okay. Sending again. We only lost one ship. Where are we meeting again? That was a Rachel question. Where are we meeting again? What did they say?
I don't think we had a plan for that. Just once the Kraken was dead, they were going to start sending out all the ships. I don't think there was a plan to like reconvene.
Well, are we not going to
Belvedere.
Belvedere? Oh my god, third of all, what the fuck? Belvedere then.
Okay.
I don't know if they need us there like now, but I guess we could just go back to the little summit for now.
Okay. So, as you return the single ship back, you watch as the thousands of ships over the next day. I will say that you are able to get a long rest within this day as you sail back. You do not remove the exhaustion yet, as you are continually going. As you watch the ships in the harbor take off, thousands of ships head towards the capital of Alamine, where the city of Ventus Ferrum is. Now the Kraken, no longer a threat. Prepare yourselves, Belvedere. And that, we were going to take a break. Everyone be back at 45 your time.
Woohoo! All right.
Brandon.
To finish the story.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard? Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
He's gay, but he has a special connection to classical music. There's many things that are interesting about him.
In Avatar: The Last Airbender, it is done so well. But here's the thing. It grows to be more in depth. The spirit world becomes a thing, and it grows even more in depth after that. More layers get added on more layers, right? Not everybody in the Earth Kingdom is good. Not everybody in the Water Tribes. They're not all underpowered, right? Because the Northern Water Tribe is so strong. And not everybody in the Fire Nation is evil. The layers continue to be added the longer the story goes on. In your campaign, do that. Most people have a hard time starting a campaign because they don't know where to start. They think they need 7 kingdoms, hundreds of houses, thousands of NPCs. No! Stop! You don't need that. What you need is one town, one place, 4 or 5 NPCs, and an inciting incident.
What a joke. I worked my ass off to get where I am. And you take these shortcuts and you think suddenly you're my peer? You do what I do because you're funny and you can make people laugh? I committed my life to this.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. Dead like if I could guarantee Henry would be okay, I'd hope you'd get an illness and then get hit by a car and die.
In this video, we're going to talk about secondary objectives, a way to make your combat encounters spicy, delicious, fantastic. Secondary objectives enhance combat in D&D to an exponential degree. Let's go ahead and dive into number 10. Rescue missions. Task your players with rescuing an NPC or retrieving an item during combat. It will help add layers of urgency and potentially even a moral dilemma. My favorite example of this is instead of sending the players to kill the goblin camp that may raid the village, right? That's a consequence. Sometimes that's good enough. The goblins abducted the blacksmith. And now they need to save the blacksmith and kill the goblins. It's a secondary objective that spices things up.
You people should be thanking Christ that I am who and what I am because you need me. You need me to save you. You do. I am the only one who possibly can. You're not the real heroes. I'm the real hero.
Holy, look at all this damage!
Where? Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do, and so do I. I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent.
Now is left to me to deal with him. You can't. If you try to interfere, this becomes a much simpler matter. I will kill your wife. I will kill your son. I will kill your infant daughter.
But for now, we're going to look at a slightly different system that doesn't just affect the moment of death, but the moments before death. Something that makes combat more grounded, horror more horrifying, and sacrifices all the more heroic. Picture a movie fight scene between a hero and villain. They're clashing blades, dancing back and forth, parrying, dodging, blocking, keeping up with each other's advances, surprising each other with new techniques and strategies, until finally, one of them lands a devastating blow. It's not just a graze on the arm, it's not just a smack on the chest. It's 0 HP. When using the point of no return system, we want to draw attention to this moment of the fight, to make that hit extra cinematic and weighted and affect the decisions that your players are going to make when they are given that critical choice of staying down or getting up.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
So with that, let's go ahead and dive into our first build, the level 5, Blighted Warden.
In the shadowed underbrush of the ancient forest, where the line between decay and growth blurs, the Blighted Warden moves unseen. A spectral guardian at the crossroads of life and death, melding the Gloomstalker's mastery of darkness with the Circle of Spores' eerie command over fungal life. They are the embodiment of nature's unchecked, wild ferocity. With each arrow knocked from their twisted, spore-infested bow, they strike with the precision of night and the inevitable spread of decay, a silent protector of the natural order's darker, untamed side.
So there we go. There's our thematic intro.
I have to finish the story.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard? Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
He's gay, but he has a special connection to classical music. There's many things that are interesting about him.
In Avatar: The Last Airbender, it is done so well. But here's the thing. It grows to be more in depth. The spirit world becomes a thing, and it grows even more in depth after that. More layers get added on more layers, right? Not everybody in the Earth Kingdom is good. Not everybody in the Water Tribes. They're not all underpowered, right? Because the Northern Water Tribe is so strong. And not everybody in the Fire Nation is evil. The layers continue to be added the longer the story goes on. In your campaign, do that. Most people have a hard time starting a campaign because they don't know where to start. They think they need 7 kingdoms, hundreds of houses, thousands of NPCs. No! Stop! You don't need that. What you need is one town, one place, 4 or 5 NPCs, and an inciting incident.
What a joke. I worked my ass off to get where I am. And you take these shortcuts and you think suddenly you're my peer? You do what I do because you're funny and you can make people laugh? I committed my life to this.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. Dead like if I can guarantee Henry would be okay. I'd hope you get an illness and then get hit by a car and die.
In this video, we're going to talk about secondary objectives, a way to make your combat encounters spicy, delicious, fantastic. Secondary objectives enhance combat in D&D to an exponential degree. Let's go ahead and dive into number 10. Rescue missions. Task your players with rescuing an NPC or retrieving an item during combat. It will help add layers of urgency and potentially even a moral dilemma. My favorite example of this is instead of sending the players to kill the goblin camp that may raid the village, right? That's a consequence. Sometimes that's good enough. The goblins abducted the blacksmith. And now they need to save the blacksmith and kill the goblins. It's a secondary objective that spices things up.
You people should be thanking Christ that I am who and what I am because you need me. You need me to save you. You do. I am the only one who possibly can. You're not the real heroes. I'm the real hero. Holy, look at all this damage.
Where? Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do, and so do I. I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent.
Now is left to me to deal with him. You can't.
If you try to interfere, this becomes a much simpler matter. I will kill your wife. I will kill your son. I will kill your infant daughter.
But for now, we're going to look at a slightly different system that doesn't just affect the moment of death.
Too late.
Hi.
We're back.
Okay, cool.
Oh, cool. Every time.
Serious. So, As all of you rest up in Janu, you prepare yourselves to go back to help and assist with Thulbadir. The second piece to the puzzle that will allow the Dagram Empire to fully join the siege and finally make your way to the capital. However, in this evening, before you rest fully, Gak, you hear this odd hum outside of the chambers in which you all are staying, a tavern for the night. And then all of you start to hear it. Yrsa first, followed by Basil, Gideon, Rian, and Enid. This do you check what it is?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. As you open the door, you are greeted with this horrible smell of sulfur and decay. And in an instant, snap of a finger that you hear, the world around you turns dark. And standing in front of you is a long, grin face of pulled back purple skin and sallowed red eyes, skeletal nose structure, and these long, purple horns, these giant wings that are tattered and almost spectral in a way. They wear gold and red armor, and you see this abyssal creature in front of you that says,
Well, well, well. Seekers of Insomnia. Isn't this just a delight? Little reunion. How have you all been? Oh, don't bother answering. I can see it in your faces. Things are going quite well for you, aren't they? Must be nice. As for me, well, things haven't exactly been all sunshine and rainbows. But I'm getting by. One agonizing day at a time. Thanks to you, of course. Still, it warms my blackened heart to see all of you together again. Such a tight-knit, loving family. Standing strong against the tides of darkness. Truly. It's touching.
Do you recognize this person? Oh,
Have we met?
Fuck. Go ahead.
You, Gak, recognize who this is immediately just from the abyssal voice that he has now. Iziran, twisted and corrupted by the abyss, back on the prime material, as he says,
Oh, speaking of families, Gak, I almost forgot to tell you. I finally had the pleasure of meeting yours. After all the things you told about me, I couldn't resist dropping by for a little visit. I must say, though, they didn't quite live up to the glowing praise you gave them. A bit of a disappointment, really. It all started with that mutt of yours. Direwolf, wasn't it? Charming creature, really, but I must say, Gak, you and your family could have done a lot much better training it. The moment I arrived, the beast had the audacity to attack me. Me? Could you imagine? A guest in your home. Naturally, I had to put it down. A pity, really, but you understand, don't you? It's simply unacceptable for a dog to bite the hand that visits. And then, of course, your dear father came storming out in a fit of rage. Such fire, such passion. He really should have saved his energy for something more productive. But no, he insisted on confronting me, and you could imagine how that turned out. He put up a fight, but in the end, well, he fell like a dog. And your mother wasn't far behind. Fierce woman, strong-willed, but sadly no match for me. You'd think after losing the family pet and her husband, she might reconsider her chances, but no. She was stubborn to the last. And then there was your sister. Sweet, delicate, utterly helpless. She didn't even try to fight, the poor thing. It was almost too easy. Gak, almost unfair. I couldn't help but feel a twinge of pity as she crumpled before me, but mercy, Belle. Mercy is for the weak. But, you see, none of this is my fault. No, 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 no. You brought this upon yourself. You and your incessant meddling, your naive attempts to play the heroes. You have disrupted the natural order and stuck your nose where it did not belong. And now you are reaping the whirlwind of consequences. I'm just the messenger, the inevitable consequence of your foolish actions. So tell me, Gak and Seekers, how does it feel to be the architects of your own suffering? To know that the loved ones that you paid the price for your hubris. Oh, don't worry. By all means, keep fighting, keep struggling, and keep playing at being the heroes. And I tell you that maybe, just maybe, they'll write stories about you someday. Songs sung of your bravery and your courage in the face of impossible odds. But let's be honest, shall we? You won't win. All of this, every drop of blood spilled, every little life snuffed out will be for nothing. A grand tragic waste, and in the end you will all fall like the rest. And when that moment comes, and that light fades from your eyes, and you finally realize the futile struggle, I'll be savoring every last delicious second. I can't wait to watch the life drain from your bodies, to feel the last desperate breaths as you realize just how hopeless this is.
He turns towards Gak and says,
You and your friends took my home, my only chance back to the Hells, and I was born anew through Demogorgon. Well, it's my job to make your lives a living hell, to take everything from you. So, Seekers, go to Thulp, dear. Help them. I'll be seeing you very, very soon.
and the illusion drops.
It was an illusion? Are you fucking for real right now? I was ready to start blasting, guys. I don't know about you.
Yeah. So, do we believe him?
Make an insight check.
I would also like to see if Enid believes him.
Oops. I clicked the wrong thing. Let's see.
Oh, shit. Roll very well. You know what? And I'll add my psionic knack die ability that I have, because this counts. So let me add a d8 to mine.
Oh, hell
good.
yeah. Hell yes.
On a natural 20?
Oh, I don't know why 2 rolled. So sick.
Gak, you believe every word. But there was some sort of slight misdirection in his words, but you can't tell which one of them was a lie. And only because you natural 20 can you tell that.
So, John, can you remind me of what all he said was happening to his family members?
He said that he killed all of them.
Killed all of them. Gak, I don't know if this will work, but I could try scrying. And from what I remember of them, I can try to see what's happening on their side. I can ask my mother too.
Gak's just kind of standing there, and he slowly nods, and he just goes,
He was lying about something.
I don't know if this would be like a basic yes or no question that the Raven Queen could answer. So like if Basil was like, hey, are they dead? Do I need to roll specifically, or is it like a no, they haven't shown up yet kind of thing?
I think Gak's thing right now, his thinking, they are dead, but is it a trap if we go back?
Right.
Yursa's just gonna grab Gak's hand while we wait to see. Are you gonna scry?
I was gonna cast scrying.
Can you scry on the cabin?
Just the cabin? No one in particular?
I think we need to see if it's safe to go back.
Yeah, I can do that. And Basil will... I don't know how it works, Sean. I lost it. I don't know where it went. Is it like... So if I were to choose the cabin, would it be kind of like a projection of myself where I can walk around and see what's going on, or what would it look like?
Or is scrying just a creature?
So it can be, oh, maybe it is just a creature. Yeah, it's just a creature.
I will say in this instance, you can scry on the house, but what it is it's this kind of like central, you can see things from above, and then it's kind of blurry at the edges.
And you can't like look around or anything.
Right. If you want to scry on the shack, you can.
Can we get an inside view?
Yeah, if you want to,
yeah.
you can either do outside or inside.
We want to do inside?
Or should we do outside? That's
Probably outside.
Outside? Okay. Then I guess Basil would scry from the best vantage point that she can remember to like get as much as she can.
Okay. If I believe correctly, the best vantage point was when you and Enid were in the tree in Gak's shack. And it kind of looks down. The shack is in place. The door is wide open, and it is disheveled outside. Something has happened here. And on the very edge of your vision, you see a large furred creature on the ground, lifeless.
Basil would be relaying all of this over to Gak.
Does it look like a trap?
Does it, John?
It doesn't look like a trap.
Am I able to make like perception or...
You can make a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Is it gonna go? John, I don't know what happened. I rolled twice and then it just disappeared.
Is it on D&D Beyond?
Uh,
Let's see it. You rolled a 31.
Let's go.
It does not look like a trap at all.
Okay. I think it's safe to go there, Gak.
Gak just starts to pull out the port glass.
Okay.
Basil would move up to stand next to him. She kind of places her hand on his shoulder.
And yeah, if no one's stopping Gak, he's just opening up the port glass and going.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to be right behind him.
Yeah.
I think Enid would just for a moment, place her hand on the port glass and look into his eyes and just say, I don't know what we're gonna find, but I'm worried it's not gonna be easy. I don't want to slow us down if they need us, but... And then she just kind of looks back down to the port glass.
Gak's eyes flitted over to Enid's for a second, and then we're staring straight ahead.
And she'll take her hand off the port glass. Just brace yourself, okay?
And yeah, Gak will open the port glass.
Okay. All of you walk through and return to Gak's home. Where exactly did you port, Gak?
Probably in the opening field in between the house and the lake.
Okay. Your eyes immediately recognize three things. There is a large furred direwolf dead in between where you are in the house. Next to pond, about 15 feet away, face down, is a large Goliath man with a great sword next to him, laying unmoving. And as you kind of look around, you see that there are two other creatures. Those abyssal ravagers that are starting to, like hyenas, pull at Pond's body as they are eating Pond.
Twin disintegrate those guys right now.
Make a perception check, Gak.
Mine didn't go over either. Oh, there it is. 17.
17's enough. Gideon, as you go to twin disintegrate, Gak, you notice the illusion fade. And you smack Gideon's hands before the disintegrate spells hit your sister and your mother.
Jesus Christ.
You see that the illusion fades in front of you, Gak. The Ravagers illusioned. You see your mom and your sister unconscious, just leaning up against Pond. Gideon, there's a instant moment of almost regret.
Yeah, I feel it, dude.
Yeah, Gak's gonna run over to his mom and sister.
They're unconscious.
Basil would follow.
Did we get a long rest in? Or technically no?
Technically, no.
Okay. Yeah, even though Gak knows there's healing stuff, before anyone else can get there, he's already pulling out greater healing potions from his bag.
Before Gak starts, so John, does it look like they're just 0 hit points, knocked unconscious?
It looks like they are magically unconscious. Now, as you look around, I mean, Basil, you know, you can see all of you as soon as you get close on Pond and on Gak Senior. There is that abyssal blight.
The one that knocked out Eldar? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something we could do for him, though, right?
Is greater restoration.
Oh, wait.
But before they die.
And they're not dead yet, though, right?
Gak Senior and Pond are dead. The mom and sister are magically unconscious right now.
So... greater restoration would work on...
They might not need greater restoration because it doesn't seem like they have the blight on them, right?
Yeah, mom and sis do not have the blight.
So they just need regular healing. Okay, and so it's the dad who needs the greater restoration, right?
No, he's dead.
He's dead. Okay. Is he...
with being magically unconscious, does that mean they're like put to sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gideon, you would realize it's like the sleep spell, but a lot stronger right now.
I'm trying to think of logistics. For Gak Senior, it would be a resurrection, not a revivify, right? Because revivify is within 1 minute.
Yeah, you can tell that Gak Senior's been dead for possible hours.
So would it then be a resurrection?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that's why I have 2 diamonds for the 1,000 gold piece thing. Worth the 1,000 gold piece. I've never used this spell, so...
Well, and before we get to that...
Yes.
Resurrection is a ritual spell. You would have to create the whole ritual to cast it. And Gak, you can tell that your mother and your sister are alive. And in the back of your mind, you just hear as you look at your friend Pond and your dad.
I think Gak will turn to Gideon, and he'll just say like, "How do we wake him up?"
Would Gideon have any idea how to do it?
As a master of dream magic, yeah. You could enter their dreams. You could, I'd say you'd have the power in you to wake them up.
Okay.
Well, while he does that, Basil could do the ceremony.
The resurrection ceremony takes an hour, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Do we? Are we not wanting to do that?
I think
Or
I'd want to maybe move them somewhere else and not do it here.
could we take him back to the keep?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, if we want to take them back to the keep, and then Gideon can work on his mom and sister, Basil can work on his dad, and then the next day, after she gets a long rest, she can do. Wait, JK, I only have one diamond, enough for the. I'm sure the neighbor is lovely, the neighbor friend, but if Gak wants Basil to revivify, I'm assuming he'd want it to be his dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can still bring the friend and maybe.
I don't
Just
think
like-
we'd be able to even bring Pond, because Pond's a giant dire wolf.
Mm. Well, it's sad, but we could just leave him there.
Yeah, we'll probably... Gak will want to bury him, but first he
Yeah.
wants to make sure that his mom and his sister wake up.
Yeah.
Gideon. Well, the question is, are you all teleporting back to the keep with them, or just doing it? Are you waking them up here?
I think we're planning on taking everybody to the keep and then.
I think Gak would probably say to wake his mom and sister up here, and then they can be like conscious as we teleport everybody back. So we don't have 3 unconscious people we're trying to teleport with.
Well, Enid, I think, would suggest that maybe not to wake up the sister until we can get the dad alive. Maybe. Spare some trauma. Do whatever you want. That was just my suggestion.
Yeah, when Enid says that, Gak's kind of like,
I don't think she'd be happy if she woke up after the fact and it didn't work.
Maybe. Maybe it'd be nice just to think it was all a bad dream. But you know her better.
So, Gideon, you're waking up the mom and sister.
Yep.
There's a brief moment where you watch Gideon's eyes kind of gloss over this astral galaxy as Gideon, your consciousness enters theirs, and with a single word, as you say, wake. There is a brief moment, and Gak, you watch as your mom and your sister both. Gak. Oh, my boy. And you see she
puts him
tries
in a bear hug.
and they just hug you. And your sister. I'm so glad to see you. Where? She kind of starts to push back a little bit. Where's Dad?
We're gonna save him.
It'll be okay. He's
You-
just not awake yet. But
She
we're
sees-
going to go back to the keep and we'll help him.
You see that she sees Pond and her hands just kind of go over her face and she starts crying. And your mom, Gak, looks at you and says, So glad to see you.
It's gonna be okay.
And she just bear hugs you and starts to just cry.
And he'll, as he's hugging them, he'll be silent for a while, and he'll finally squeak out, just like,
Let me know when you guys want to go back to our keep, and we can help Dad there.
You see your mom looks at you and goes, "Are you sure that we can help him? Are you positive?"
and Gak will kind of look back, and he'll say,
We can do the best we can.
You see your mom nod, and she grips both of your hands and squeezes them, kisses one of them, and walks over towards Gak Sr. and just kind of kneels down and just says, "Bring him back. Please, please come back to me." And your sister just kind of hugs you, Gak, and says, "Gak, I'm scared."
I know it's okay.
and I think Gak will slowly start to like stand up and bring his sister up with him, and he'll say,
If you want to go over there and hug Enid, I will. Rianne, can you help me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Enid,
Yeah. She'll take his sister and hold on to her, just like knowing.
so all this happens. Girsa or Gak, which one of you is preparing the plane shift?
Girsa will do.
Okay. Girsa, you prepare the plane shift, and you teleport. You teleport to Stormhold Keep.
and I think when we get there, Gak will just start leading everybody to his room.
Some time goes by, and Basil, you prepare the resurrection spell. Do you have that
Yep.
prepared today?
Yep.
Okay. As you prepare the spell, you light the candles and you create and write the runes. The spell requires an offering of some sort. Now, normally with a player character, we would have 3 to complete the spell. As the runes, and you finish casting the spell, Basil, the first to go up is Gak's sister. She grabs Gak Sr.'s hand and just starts to hum. And Gak, you immediately recognize it is the lullaby that your dad used to sing to you, both of you, as kids. Now, Gak, or Nick, I would like you to roll a performance check and add a +2. Can you private GM roll me?
Yeah, so
Or
not
blind
not
GM roll?
not my performance, just a D20 plus 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Using Brick's performance. No, Brack. Sorry. Do a blind GM roll. she moves away, and your mom comes up, grabs Gak Sr.'s hand and says, I'm not done with you yet. We still have a lot of life left, and I need you back. Please. I can't go on without you. Please come back. And I need you, Nick, to roll persuasion check with a +4. Okay. Yak. It is your turn to contribute something to this ritual. What do you want to do?
So, Gak will walk up. And he'll just kind of stand there for a second. And he will take off his cloak and lay his cloak over his dad. And he is going to... Yeah. He's going to take the 4 love potions that he has and set them around on the table. And he's, from his bag of holding, he pulls out the crystal that Moon gave him. And he sets that on the table. And he sets his original orb on the table that his mom gave him. And he gets down on his knees and grabs his dad's hand. And he says, I have experienced a lot of things. And the only way that I have been able to experience them is having you and Mom make me the person I am. And when the world is ending, people lose their lives. And it's not good. And it's not fair. And thinking about this thing was making me feel selfish because of how many people are going through the same thing. But then I realized that it wasn't just a effect of war. This was targeted, and this was because of me. You don't deserve this. Pond didn't deserve this. It's not your time. And then Gak will just kind of put his head down onto his dad's hand that he's holding.
Okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Should that be blind?
Yeah.
Okay. don't know how. I'll just roll 2 separately blind. I don't know how to do the advantage thing on the.
It's fine.
Okay, there's the 2 rolls, and then persuasion is +1.
Okay. I'm gonna break out one of my dice. Maybe not. I can't get them. I actually can't get them. So, I don't believe we've done a resurrection ritual in this campaign yet. No, we have. Gideon. Do we know how this works?
I'm glad it was as memorable for me as it was for you, Sean.
I immediately remembered after I said it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't the ones casting the spell.
So, that is true. There was a DC, and I roll a single dice, and that single dice determines if the soul is persuaded back to the body. Yak, as the words leave your mouth. Basil, you complete the spell. The runes light. The candles burn bright. And then the candles snuff out. All of you smell the smell of burnt candles in the air and incense. The runes grow dark. And then you see breath back to Gak Sr. And Basil, you can see slightly the visage of the Raven Queen with her hand on his chest. She looks to you and smiles and disappears. And Gak Sr. opens his eyes.
Welcome back.
Where am I?
You're alive.
Oh. That's good. And you see him kind of close his eyes and smile, Gak, and then he looks towards you. Gak. My boy.
Welcome to my room.
Help me up. And he grabs for
go
your hand.
slow.
Oh. And immediately your sister and your mother just run over and hug him. And your mom says, "Glad you're back." And as the sister kind of gets most of the hug and Gak Sr.'s kind of patting her back, Basil, Brick, Gak's mom, walks over to you and says, and kind of holds your hands and says, "Thank you. Thank you."
I'd do it 100 times over. And she'd pull her in for a hug.
Did you hug her? Gak, your family was obviously a target. But luckily, because of the power of those that you travel with, They were successfully saved. All of you kind of stand around and looking at the repercussions of war. You've been fighting for 2 months against the creatures of the abyss, against Demogorgon and their forces. But somehow this made it the most real. You are, and you can feel, one of the top priorities of Demogorgon. And now it's not just Demogorgon. Iziran is back. A general in his army. But you have a mission in front of you. Gak, your family lives, but you know that every moment that you have taken here, the fighting has not stopped around. The fighting in Hambafort and Artis against those forces, barely holding on, is still going on outside of these walls. And the fighting that you need to be helping with in Thulbadir is continuing. Your time has been taken from you successfully by Iziran. You don't know what is in store for you in Thulbadir in the rift to Mechanus, but you know that you need to close that rift in order to attempt to siege the capital of Valamine, where the now city Ventus Ferrum is, and where Demogorgon presumably is. As all of you kind of gather your bearings, Gak, you spend some time with your family. The rest of you give Gak that moment, those minutes. Gak, you let your family know where you have to go, and that they are welcome to stay in the keep. All of you gather in the hall where you meet for breakfast every morning. And ready yourselves to travel to Thulbadir to fight yet another rift and another fight against Demogorgon. And on that note, we're going to end a little early tonight. That is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to tune in on Saturday for the Isles of Iverion, next Tuesday for the Salamander Coast, and next Wednesday for the Tales of Evrand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.